Recently, I was on a trip up with my wife through the Badlands. We went through, I wanted to see the Wounded Knee Memorial, which is in the Lakota Sioux Reservation. And so we were pulling up to the area where the Wounded Knee Memorial was, and there was this dirt road that goes up to the memorial. And I like to say that behind every man with a great idea is a woman shaking her head. So this dirt road turns into a four-wheel drive track. It goes up a steep hill, turns into a four-wheel drive track, and as I got up on that hill, I dumped the bike over. So there I was, the classic old white guy on a big touring bike, pulling a trailer on a dirt road, like a four-wheel drive track, and I dropped my bike. It happens. I've dumped every bike I've owned at one point or another through a mistake, or that's always a mistake. So I think it's important that we know how to pick our bikes up. If you're physically capable, it's probably a good idea to know how to pick your bike up. It's important because if you don't, then you've got to call roadside assistance. You have roadside assistance, right? You can call roadside assistance, but it can take them 2 or 3 hours to to show up to help you pick your bike up. If you're physically capable of picking it up, then I think it's important that you know how to pick it up. And be confident. So it's best to do this in your garage once or twice before you're on the side of the hill in a Lakota Sioux reservation trying to figure out with people trying to sell you jewelry before you try to pick it up. So it's something you practice in your garage, and it's important to do. And if you ride a big bike, it's going to happen. Maybe it won't happen to you, but it's happened to me. Every bike I've owned, I've dropped. Maybe that says more about me as a rider than anything else, but today I'm going to show you how to, one, lay this bike down safely, and then I'm going to show you 2 ways to properly pick up this bike. So there's a couple of ways you can pick up a bike that's this big. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps here so that you know how to pick it up. So stay with me. I'm going to have to flip some things around here so that you can see me. I'm going to tip it this way, and I'll show you why when we tip the bike over. So I'll see you in just a minute. Quick disclaimer here. If you're not physically capable of doing this, don't. I've seen small people, 135 pounds, 130 pounds, pick up big Harley Cruisers, which are even heavier because their weight's up top, not down low like the Goldwing. I've seen really big guys struggle to do this because they don't have the right technique. You can hurt your back if you do this, or I do mean hurt your back. You can pull it. So be very careful when you do it and make sure you're practicing a little bit on how to do this. And the first couple of times in the garage, it doesn't hurt to have some friends over, crack a cold one, get some friends over to laugh and help pick up your bike, so that the first few times you're not trying to do it yourself in the garage with nobody there if something goes wrong. And if you can get your friends to help you the first few times as you get the technique down. So don't do this if you're not physically capable. Call roadside assistance. That's why we all have roadside assistance, right? They help us change tires, they help us with dead batteries, they help us pick up our bikes. It's cheap to add to your motorcycle insurance in general. All right, so there's the quick disclaimer. I was told I should do that, oddly enough, but I mean, it's obvious. I'm a guy in a garage doing stuff on YouTube. I'm not a professional. I'm not doing this for a living. All right, so let's get to dropping our bike down. Step 1 of learning to pick your bike up is learning to put your bike down. So I've prepped. You'll see in my garage, I happen to have this beautiful flooring in here. It's just stall mats from a local farm store. But they make great work surfaces for vehicles when you've got old knees. I laid some towels out here. I've got this nice floor here where I can lay it down. Everything's cleared out of the way. I've run the bike nearly out of gas, so I'm down to 1 or 2 dots of gas. So that works really well. Still got oil and everything in it. Bike is off already. I've got the parking brake engaged. Obviously, kickstand is down. I'm leaning on it right now. So step 1 here is to lean the bike towards you. I'm going to grab this handrail here. I'm going to grab this handlebar, and I'm going to pick the bike up till it's balanced. And I'm going to get in front of it. While it's balanced, be careful here. We're going to keep our butt on the seat, on the edge of the seat here, so it's got some resistance. We're going to keep a hold of these. We're going to keep our back upright and stiff. We're going to pull your shoulder blades in, keep your shoulders back, your shoulder blades in so you don't hurt your back. And as you go down, you're just going to go ahead and lean with the bike. Don't drop it. Let it go down slowly so you don't break anything. We're just going to walk the bike down carefully. Keep that back straight. Don't let it roll. All right, bike is down. It's that easy. And picking it up is just about that easy too. We're going to do a few things before we try to pick the bike up. We're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to make sure the bike gets turned off. We have to shut the bike off. We're going to put it into gear. So if your bike's a manual, put it in gear. If it is a DCT like mine, pop that emergency brake. And lastly, if you're tilted to the right side, like my bike is, put your kickstand down. That way, when you're picking the bike up, the kickstand will catch it when it tips over, which I was fortunate. I got laid down on the right side here, so I was able to just tip it back up onto its kickstand when I was up at Wounded Knee. If you are not on the right side, you're going to have to crawl under and grab this and get it in. Get it in place so you can reach around and grab that, put it in place. And you got to do a little bit different when you tilt it up. So now that our bike is prepped, first method we're going to show here is the back to bike method. The key here is you're not lifting the bike. You're not trying to pick up 900 pounds like a deadlift. What you're doing is you're using the wheels as kind of a chalk to tilt the bike up. So make sure that your foot area is clear here, that you don't have gravel under you because you don't want to slide. You don't want your knees to be in front of your toes. You're not trying to use your knees to lift the bike. You're trying to use the heavy part of your legs, your quads up here. I'm an old guy. I'm not like a gym rat or anything. So this is not a pleasant experience when you do it and you're embarrassed, but it's not that hard. So we're going to get our butt on our seat here. I've seen some people actually put their butt on the physical seat. And again, that's because we're tilting the bike. We're not deadlifting, we're tilting the bike against its wheels. We're going to grab our handlebar here in the left hand. We're going to grab our passenger handrail in our right hand. We're going to lean our back back, keep it straight above your hips because this can be bad on your back. If you do it like this, you're going to wrench your back. So lean that back, keep your shoulders squared up and back. Put your legs out in front of you slightly, so you get a slight angle on your legs. And then we're going to pull the bike up with our legs. We're just going to walk it slowly backwards. We know we've got our kickstand down, but when we get it up to where it's balanced, we're going to turn, look down at our kickstand, and tilt the bike back onto it. That's it for method one. The bike is now up. It's not that hard. Because you're not lifting the bike, you're tilting the bike. Just like before, we're going to tilt our bike down. We're going to grab it by the passenger handrail here. We're going to grab the handlebar. We're going to lean the bike up till it's level. And we're going to get in front of it. And we're just going to walk it down. So this is just like picking the bike up. Keep your feet out in front of your knees. Slowly walk it down. Lean back with the bike. Don't use your back. If you feel pressure in your back, you might be doing it wrong. Stop and get your people who are helping you to tell you what you're doing with your back if you're unaware. All right, bike is over. So again, the drill is we check that it's off. We come over here, we check that the emergency brake is on, we check our kickstand, make sure our kickstand is down. Always check, don't assume that you did it right the first time. All right, so this second method is the handlebar method. And it's not a complex method, but it's more dangerous for your back. If you don't have some experience with doing squats and proper form for deadlifts, this might not be a great method for you. It requires a very straight back. It requires good hip alignment. So if you have some experience, with weightlifting, or you've done a lot of heavy picking up, carrying stuff around, and you know how not to hurt your back, you could probably do this method. While you're practicing with your friends, I would go ahead and have them watch your back and tell you if you're rounding it, tell you if it's getting out of alignment. That's all you really have to be careful for. Again, we're not lifting the bike, we're tilting the bike. That's something you really have to get in your head. Don't try to muscle this thing off the ground. You're just tilting it. It's not that hard if you're just tilting the bike. So just like before, we're going to start by clearing our ground. Make sure we have nothing down here, no rocks, no gravel, nothing slippery. This method does work better, by the way, if you're on like a dirt road, for example. The bike is on its right side, so I want to grab across my body to this handlebar. If it was on the other side, I'd be doing the opposite grab. So I'm going to grab here. I'm going to grab this other handlebar. Now, you want to take the bow out of your back and just drive the bike forward with your legs, like this. And I find this method works really, really easy. Once you get it upright, you would kick the kickstand down if it was on this side. My kickstand's on the other side, so I'm just going to go ahead and tilt it through, like so, and set it up on the kickstand. Okay, we just picked our bike up off the ground. We've got a couple of things to do here before we can just ride off. We've got to be sure we're still in a safe position, that everything is functional. So step one, look for any signs of fluid leakage. If your gas tank is full, you may see some gas from your overflow. So make sure it's from the overflow, not anything else. Check here. Make sure that your engine is good. You don't see any oil. Come around the other side of the bike, do the exact same thing. Check, make sure there's no oil leaking out, no fluids leaking out. Everything should still be dry if you've done no damage. The only exception to that could be the gas coming out the overflow, if your gas cap was loose. So check for that. Turn your bike on. Make sure the bike comes on and everything looks good. Put your mirror out. You might have broke this when you fell, by the way. So check to make sure the bike comes on. Check, make sure you didn't break your brake handle. Make sure you didn't break your clutch if you've got a manual. So make sure all that still works. Make sure your throttle isn't loose or broken. Check your clutch, check your pedals. Make sure your brake pedal didn't hit a rock and break on you or bend in. Same with your clutch. If you've got the manual, check your clutch pedal. Make sure your clutch pedal is fine. Make sure nothing went wrong for you. Give it a go to start it. On the Goldwing, it has a sensitive tip-over sensor. So when you're running, if the engine is running and the bike tips over, it may not want to start back up. So what you want to do is just turn it off, walk away for 5-10 minutes, do whatever you want to do to like unwind, get yourself put back together, and then come back and try to start it. When I was at Wounded Knee, I tipped it over, stood it back up. It didn't start, obviously, from the tip-over sensor. So I walked away and I went ahead and left it where it was on the dirt road, and I went and looked at memorials. So I went and looked at the gravestones and stuff. So give it a good 10 minutes. I don't know how long it actually takes to reset that sensor, but it did seem to take a while. Then you can turn it on, and you're going to want to make sure it starts and sounds healthy. Does everything sound right? Are all my lights coming on? Do my blinkers work? You know, check your blinkers, give them a look. Check both sides. Make sure you're calm and collected. Don't get on the bike. Don't feel like you've got to rush off. You've just had a wreck. I know you just dropped the bike, but it's a wreck. Give yourself the mental time to recover from that for a second. You're embarrassed. Everything else is going on. You might have shaky hands. My wife was shaking. She was smart enough not to put her feet out and try to catch the bike. So she just kept her feet and hands inside the ride at all times, and she just tipped over with it. So be calm about it. Make sure everything is good to go. And again, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a professional at this. So I could have forgot something there. If you realize I forgot something, put it in the comments for other people who are watching the video to read. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I've shown you how to set your bike down. I set it down between both lifts and at the beginning. And I've shown you how to pick it up two ways. So you can use the back to bike method, keeping your back straight, shoulders locked back, rearward. I showed you the handlebar method, my preferred method if I'm on a spot where it's possible. But there are a couple things you can think about beforehand, like, do I have protection on my bike? You know, will my bike survive a drop? There are a couple of options. The Panicle highway guards work well. If I had done this in a parking lot, I almost certainly would have lost that rear saddlebag. I'm considering getting Traction Dynamics protection kit. It really seems to be for dropping at very low speeds, which is why I've resisted it so far. And then making sure you've got guards up there. I don't know what I'm going to do with these guys. I'll show you in a different video, I think. But making sure you've got some guards on there. Stay physically active, even if we're older like me. Stay physically active. Make sure you're going for walks to keep your legs, working. Make sure that if you can, work on your leg strength. Just in your living room when you're watching TV, doing simple little squats like this. Keeps your legs moving, keeps you limber. Make sure you're a little bit flexible. So those are simple things you can do to help you out. Practice. Don't be afraid to get out in your garage with some friends and some help if you're physically capable. Just get out in your garage, tip your bike over and pick it up. Do it a few times. Like I said, bring your buddies over, grab some cold beverages and have everybody take turns lifting the bike. Especially if you've got a riding group you go with. It's important that all of you know how to pick your bikes up and whether or not you can, because it's really helpful when you get on the side of the road. Like, should I try this or should I just call? It's less disruptive if you can do it yourself. So making sure that you're capable of doing it, you know how to do it, so that when it happens, you just go through the process. You already know you can do it. You just go through the process. That's my old Army training. If you do it enough times, it just becomes rote. So, once a month, every 2 or 3 weeks, just go out in your garage, get some buddies together, take turns, drop a bike over, pick it up. It's not bad for the bike as long as you're not, full on gas and you're not dumping fluids everywhere. So that's really about it. Have a good, safe ride, keep yourself together and keep your wheels down and have a good time. Pick your bike up, damn it. It's not that hard.